The jackal thought that a thin-legged bird would be an easy target. This was a big mistake. It's a secretary bird, which fights the most venomous snakes in close combat. To some jackal, this bird can deliver such a blow that the beast will run to another continent just to avoid encountering such an opponent again. Now we'll show you other cases of how birds teach lessons in good manners to animals that mess with them. A family of cranes built a nest in Yellowstone National Park right in the middle of a pond. The birds thought they were safe there. Looks pretty cute, doesn't it? The parents, along with their chicks, decided to take a stroll along the shore when suddenly a bear appeared. The massive heavyweight predator apparently thought that these thin-legged birds would be an easy snack, and that nothing would prevent it from the feast, even if the adults took flight to protect themselves. But abandoning their offspring was not part of the crane's plan. Do you know what it was? Standing up to the bear. The bear tried to assert dominance, but for the protection of their chicks, cranes are capable of true heroics. The birds completely ignored the threat of the predator's claws and fangs and attacked him head-on. The bear was in shock. He didn't expect such bravery. Cranes' long beaks aren't adapted for hunting, but they can use them sort of like a rapier. A few precise strikes, and the bear would lose an eye. The bulky marauder wants no part in that, and he runs. Even though he's about 25 to 30 times larger and stronger than these beautiful birds. Parental love works wonders. The bear flees from the enraged crane and grabs onto a tree to just calm down a little bit. The huge predator is practically in panic. Leathery wings may look much more menacing than avian ones. However, this flying fox, belonging to the larger megabats, clearly underestimated its feathery opponent. Far from being a fearsome predatory bird, it turned out to be a real fighter. With the advantage of speed, the bird repeatedly attacked the foe again and again. As a result, the bird broke the megabat's hind leg, delivering a lesson the creature would not soon forget. The megabat clearly underestimated the bird, which is noticeably smaller in size and mass, but far braver and possessing true fighting instincts. Interestingly enough, this is not a territorial battle between two predators. Notice the specific shape of the bird's massive beak. It's adapted for crushing grains and nuts, but can also serve as a weapon. The bat is not a predator either. It primarily consumes plant-based food. Perhaps the bird aimed to drive away a competitor from its territory to avoid competition for food. Or maybe the bird simply didn't realize it was dealing with an herbivore. Eagles possess bullet-like speed and impressive reaction times. It seems an ordinary turkey couldn't even come close to the predator's swiftness. However, this turkey was clearly underestimated. Somehow it noticed the eagle's dive at the very last second and not only dodged, but sharply ascended, letting the bird of prey pass underneath. The enemy's talons missed the turkey's throat by a couple of inches. Yet it managed to escape with such elegance, as if it were just another casual Tuesday, not the most dangerous instance. The turkey didn't lose composure and continued fleeing. It might seem funny how it runs, but just pay attention here. The turkey is heading in the opposite direction to where the eagle's inertia took it. The bird of prey has no chance of catching the prey. This time, it clearly made a mistake in choosing its target. The turkey surely deserves your like, don't you agree? This golden retriever was peacefully swimming towards the shore when it caught the attention of not a tiger or a pack of hungry jackals, but someone more menacing, a swan. Yeah, you heard that right. Contrary to the reputation of being cute and good-natured birds, swans can be real tough cookies. While they are indeed loyal and devoted monogamous partners, they are also extremely territorial creatures that eliminate any neighbors in their chosen water body. The golden retriever is a large dog, but it's in the swan's domain, the water. The swan aggressively attacks the dog, which hasn't really done anything to harm it. Powerful wing strikes and attempts to subdue the dog really pose a threat. The swan could potentially drown the dog, even though it's roughly 7 to 9 times heavier and stronger. Additionally, the dog didn't expect such aggression. It's completely innocent. Fortunately, the shore was close enough, and the dog managed to escape. It seems like it might develop aquaphobia now. In reality, the aggression of swans has a real benefit for the survival of this bird species. Their bravery allows them to defend their territory against predators that typically perceive birds as food. This fox doesn't dare to even attempt an attack on the swan. It cautiously drinks and retreats away from the huge and brave bird. This eagle feels confident. It can't swim, but it perches on the shallows, scouting for food. However, it doesn't know to whom this water body belongs. The swan is against anyone eyeing its chicks with appetite. It initiates an attack on the huge predatory bird, which, with its mere presence, can scare even larger creatures. The fearless swan launches a frontal assault and charges at the eagle. The white bird tries to ram the enemy, lure it into deeper water, drown it, or at least get the predator's wings wet so it can't take off until they dry. The eagle doesn't accept the challenge. It retreats, and the swan celebrates another victory. Domestic cats terrorize urban birds. They often catch pigeons and sparrows, but can also handle a more dangerous and formidable opponent. However, in this case, the cat clearly overestimated its abilities. It engaged with an owl. A significant mistake that was. The owl has an excellent defensive tactic and can resist the predator even on the ground by spreading all of its feathers. The cat is shocked. The opponent suddenly doubled in size in a matter of seconds. It might seem amusing to us, but imagine if a cute, friendly Labrador suddenly transformed into a brown bear and stood on its hind legs. Not so funny anymore, is it? Sharp claws and beak allows owls not only to resist cats, but also to successfully hunt them as prey in various situations. The secretary bird has a distinctive appearance, with feathers resembling trousers down its legs. It has a neat head on a relatively long, straight neck, a relatively short, sharp beak, and a crest of several long feathers on its head, earning it the name due to their resemblance to quills behind the ears of 19th century office workers. While these birds are capable flyers, although normally they prefer strolling through the savannah searching for food. This jackal thought that the slender and amusing-looking bird could make an excellent lunch. However, it clearly misunderstood its opponent. The secretary bird is one of the world's best hunters of the most venomous snakes. Unlike many other birds that attack reptiles from the sky, this bird prefers a more nightly tactic. It confronts the enemy head-on without attempting to hide. If the secretary bird can dispatch a massive cobra over 6 feet long, dealing with the jackal is a breeze. The audacious predator regrets having chosen such a formidable opponent, and the powerful kicks can break ribs and even snap a spine. Although the bird's talons are blunt, turns out to be an advantage, delivering hammer-like blows. Despite having a short beak, it is exceptionally sharp. The secretary bird is a close relative and, in a way, a predecessor of eagles. In short, the jackal was fortunate to survive this encounter. It surely won't be attempting another attack on this bird. It seems these birds have grown tired of the tyranny of snakes. Individually, each of these birds wouldn't stand a chance against a large venomous reptile. However, in this case, they formed some sort of avian gang. Together, they attacked a snake that was just looking for something to prey on. The birds' tactics are indeed reminiscent of gangsters. The feathered fighters surrounded the stronger foe and took turns delivering swift strikes, pecking and hitting with their paws. These birds are not fearsome predators. They lack claws and a powerful beak as weapons. However, they have the determination to deal with the snake that terrorized them. And you know what? The birds succeed. The reptile is utterly shocked, not expecting such a rebellion, and is unsure of what to do. When the snake lunges at the one bird, another strikes it from behind. This cycle repeats over and over. The birds' tactics and coordination are perfect. They cover each other and fight with a desperation that makes one wonder if their feud with this specific snake has been ongoing for quite some time. Perhaps it's a vendetta? Or are we witnessing a new evolutionary leap where seemingly less powerful birds learn to cooperate for protection against more formidable and dangerous predators? What do you think? Let us know your opinion in the comments. In general, rodents are common prey for snakes, but this rat is probably a relative of Splinter's teacher. She's dodging cobra throws. The snake even opens up its collar, which it does not do for hunting, but for self-defense. At the same time, the rat does not run away, but counterattacks one of the most venomous snakes on the planet, which specializes in rodents. When a group of wildlife researchers noticed a giraffe's head among the tall vegetation, people did not expect who would come out to meet them. That's who the real master of original and elegant appearances on stage is. The giraffe comes out between the trees with several lionesses who clung to his body from different sides. One predator on its back, and several more are getting in the way, trying to keep their hooves. The situation looks very dangerous and frightening, but pay attention to how easily the giraffe moves. Is he showing off in front of the people? Even with such a load, he moves almost effortlessly. The giraffe simply ignores all attempts of the lionesses to detain, stop, and overwhelm themselves. The lionesses clearly overestimated their strength. It even looks insulting. They pay no more attention to the fangs and claws of hunters than they do to mosquitoes, but the huntress does not give up. In vain, later it turned out that everything is fine with the giraffe's endurance as well as with physical strength. The lionesses wandered around for some time, but they clearly did not have the strength to attack again. The hyena is a fairly large predator, which often surpasses the flexible leopard in mass. In addition, hyenas are gregarious animals, preferring to attack in groups when possible. This is how they not only hunt, but also rob their competitors. And that is exactly what happened here. Two hyenas attacked a leopard that had just caught a hoofed animal. The cat made every effort and got tired. Suddenly, two enemies at once, each of which can pose a threat, try to catch up and grab with their crushingly strong jaws. The leopard had to retreat. Except the hyenas didn't know who they were messing with. The leopard is an insidious and intelligent animal that is not afraid of difficulties. He did run away, but immediately disappeared into a thicket of tall, thick grass. The hyenas grabbed his prey and got carried away. They didn't try to track the leopard, so one of the hyenas went straight into his paws. When the spotted predator is resting for a while, it counterattacks. A real positional struggle has begun. The leopard rushed at the hyena, and now she had to run away. Although the bite of its jaws can shatter bone, the scavenger does not want to feel the powerful blows of the leopard's muscular paws on his muzzle. However, he does not run for long. He is again supported by a relative, and together they push the leopard back again. The hyena's numerical advantage is their only trump card. The leopard showed his opponent that he was not afraid of a one-on-one fight. He spoiled the opponent's appetite, showed that it was not worth messing with him, but he did not bring the fight to a fatal ending, because even if he took at least one hyena with him, here one hyena tried to chase away a leopard. As you can see, although these rivals are approximately in the same weight category, The approach of the enemy did not make any impression on the panther. It seems that the leopard disdains the hyena. She brazenly approaches from the side and seems to pretend that she wants to attack. But she doesn't dare. She knows what this threatens her with. When the hyena decided that she could intimidate and push back the leopard with her mere presence, she clearly did not understand who she was dealing with. The panther has not forgotten how meanly hyenas use numerical advantage and rob their competitors. As soon as the leopard spotted a lone hyena with the prey in its mouth, the cat knew what to do. He violently attacked the enemy to teach him a painful lesson. It seems that the spotted cat does not care about the prey at all. He purposefully steps on the hyena and beats it with his paws, grabs it with his fangs, tramples it into the dust, and suppresses any resistance. Now the hyena will think twice before trying to rob and take food from the cats. At least she won't be walking around here anymore without the support of the pack. Although the hyena tried to fight back, it ran too far in a panic. The leopard grabbed the abandoned prey and jumped onto a tree before the enemy's fangs even had time to grab onto it. Tigers lead a predominantly solitary lifestyle, so they often react aggressively to strangers on their territory. But sometimes attacking an uninvited guest is a bad idea. This tiger is a powerful and adult predator at the peak of its strength, so he was confident that he could teach a painful lesson to the intruder he spotted in the bushes. But the thickets hid most of the body of the alien tiger, which turned out to be no smaller and certainly no weaker than the predator that attacked it. An impressive fight between two furious rivals began. The aggressor tiger managed to sneak up on the stranger and attack him, but he gave an impressive rebuff. An exchange of crushing blows began, some of which hit both rivals in the face. The aggressor clearly did not expect such a rebuff and counted on a quick victory and escape of the stranger. In vain, the cats grappled, their growls could be heard for miles, and one or the other opponent had the advantage. Finally, the tiger defending its territory managed to bring the stranger down on his back. But it was too early to celebrate the victory. The opponent used a cunning trick. He grabbed the enemy's head with his claws, pulled it towards him, and began to hit him in the face with his hind paws. As a result, the tigers dispersed on different sides. Both predators survived and remained without serious injuries. This fight will be remembered for a long time. The aggressor was even able to defend its territory. But the striped muzzle will remind him for a while that even if you are a mighty tiger, sneaking up on an equally strong relative is a bad idea. The largest land animals on the planet are elephants, which can reach a mass of more than 5 tons. The height of a single-story house, the length of the body like a minibus, tusks as long as a man's height. It's impressive. It seems that a mature and powerful male the size of an entire house simply cannot have worthy rivals in a one-on-one duel. Just look at how freely this elephant is among a huge herd of angry and vicious hippos. These animals are fiercely territorial and hate intruders. Such a number of behemoths as gathered here, it's a whole army. But the elephant doesn't care. He wants to swim, and he goes into the water. And when one behemoth still dares to attack an elephant, it does so from behind. The main weapon of a hippopotamus is its jaws, with which it can sink a motorboat or a speedboat. Against the background of an elephant, these animals do not seem big, but believe me, hippos are incredibly strong and their ramming attack can turn over a van. Besides, biting an elephant's tail into the back of its legs is a pretty calculated plan, isn't it? However, the behemoth underestimated its opponent. The elephant just kicked the behemoth underwater, and the 3-ton aggressor was thrown back. The behemoth does not calm down and tries to attack again. He opens his mouth wide and wants to hook his sharp fangs into the elephant's flesh to pierce its skin. But another powerful kick forces the behemoth to finally abandon the idea. Having been punched in the face, he retreats. It may seem that the adult elephant has no equal rival. A huge hippopotamus attacked a group of rhinos. A real battle of the titans in which both species are excellent fighters. A hippopotamus and a rhinoceros weigh about the same, about 3 tons. Pretty cool, isn't it? They have excellent protection. The rhino's skin is tough as armor, and the hippo skin is smooth and thick. The rhinoceros has a horn, and the hippopotamus has powerful jaws with long fangs. But still, the hippopotamus is much more aggressive, and at first it seems that he will win thanks to this pressure and the pressure that he exerts on his rivals. For a long time, the hippopotamus stands in front of the opponent and threatens him with his jaws, which it seems can fit the entire head of the opponent. But the hippopotamus thinks too highly of his strength. Rhinos should not be messed with, especially if they are protecting their family. When the hippopotamus went to ram, he first managed to push aside his opponent, but then the rhinoceros turned around and showed the hippopotamus who was in charge here. A terrible stabbing blow from the bottom up is the practical main technique in the rhino's arsenal, but what an effective one. The behemoth is in a panic. He realized his mistake too late, and he was almost gutted. His hide barely withstood the impact. However, the pain after this rhino attack will make the hippo treat these neighbors with great respect. Here, the elephant decided to show a younger relative that he's the one in charge here. It's just one thing to scatter hyenas helpless against such a giant, and it's quite another to fight someone in your weight class. The young elephant is only slightly smaller than the aggressor. He more than compensates for the lack of size and combat experience with the enthusiasm of youth and incredible rage. At first, it seems that he did not show any fighting excitement and retreated. But the first surprise from the attack of the mature male passed, and the young elephant immediately seized the initiative. A battle of almost equal rivals has begun, which looks incredibly cinematic. The earth is just shaking from the collision of 2 such giants. At the same time, elephants combine incredible power with elegance. When they fight with their tusks, it resembles aristocratic fencing. So accurate and insidious are the blows the rivals inflict on each other. The trunk is also used, but more as a defensive weapon, with which opponents try to intercept each other's tusks. Such confrontation alternates with the exchange of crushing blows, ramming tactics, and maneuvers, during which elephants try to push back an opponent, outflank him, find an advantageous angle for an offensive, or surprise the enemy with an unexpected attack. Although the combat experience of the veteran elephant is estimated for decades, he should not have underestimated the young opponent, who also has something to surprise the old man. Interestingly enough, their duel looks quite noble. Yes, the opponents do not spare and do not give in. They fight fiercely and use their strength 100%. If such an attack had fallen on a rhinoceros or a hippopotamus, each of which are also heavy, although it is almost twice as inferior as the elephant, then only a wet spot could have remained on the ground. But at the same time, elephants do not use what we would call cavities. The aggressor did not try to attack suddenly. He did not hit the opponent in the side or back with the sharp tips of the tusk when the young elephant was not ready for this. Elephants butt heads, ramming each other with powerful, strong foreheads, trying to knock each other down. They raise up whole clouds of dust, and then the real climax of the battle takes place. A powerful ramming attack with tusks, which the defending beast met by crossing its weapons with them. And it couldn't stand it. The tusk broke, and a piece of it flew off to the side. It looks pretty epic. But after that moment, the fight suddenly subsides. Strangely enough, even despite the adrenaline coursing through their veins and natural aggression, the elephants manage to control their impulses and stop in time. The duel ends without fatal consequences for the opponents. The rivals are going in different directions. The young elephant gave a powerful rebuff to the mature aggressor, but there is no clear winner here.